everybody, DR here. Today I got a review on, how do I say this? It's not new, it's not used. It's mine and I've had it for a little while. I bought it new. This is a 2022 PRS SE 24/8 standard. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? On the website, it says when you're looking at it, it came in this, and it came in like a brown burst color, or brown color. Anyways, it tells you to, look to another page for the 25 model. So I'm not sure what changes they made, but I'm reviewing this one because this is the one I have. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So, PRS SE, and it's made by, that Cortec Musical Instruments. This one's made in Indonesia. They switched to Indonesia. They even started making some Chinese ones. You got to be careful. In the past, I've got one I could show you. I have a Tremonti that is made in Korea. From what I can tell, these Indonesian ones have identical build quality to the Korean one that I have. So, for starters, these aren't the tuners that came on it. These are some PRS locking tuners. I wanted it to look like the real PRSs. They saw me coming. Paid like $120 for these stupid things, $110, $120. The ones that came on it were virtually identical to this, only they didn't lock. They worked just perfectly fine. But I did it because I wanted to, and it's mine and I can. The truss rod on these is the truss rod with the nut a la Gibson, except don't be going using your Gibson wrench on it because it's metric sized. And it came with that. It comes with the beautiful PRS gig bag, that brown gig bag everybody's seen. I'll show you that. This particular model has the tremolo. I'm not going to demonstrate that. If I dive bomb it, it'll go out of tune if I use it liberally. But if I use it sparingly, it'll stay in tune. It has the 6 points like an old Fender trem, but they're knife edged and indented a la Floyd Rose style posts. So they are a lot more stable, but you can still get binding at the nut. And while I mention the nut, this is not the original nut. I don't leave anything alone, do I? Why did I change the nut? Because it was binding at the nut, right? No, that's not why. It played really nice in the music store, and I took it home, and part of the reason for that was the nut was cut a little too low. I had one string down in here, I can't remember if it was the B or the E, that was buzzing against that first fret a little when you played it open. It's like, uh-oh. So the original nut that came on it was black, which I thought was a poor choice, because with the cream binding and the cream colored nut, now that boxes that in, where before with the black there, it looked open-ended and all the tone would just fall out if you tipped it up, and that was going to be no good. I'm sure Paul Reed Smith would tell you that. It is a PRS nut made for this guitar, made for the SE, and it's not a bone nut, and I don't think it's anything special at all. It's the same nut that came on them, and to be honest with you, 2 for $7. So these things probably come with a cheap nut. And it's cut very blocky, just like the PRS SE nuts are. But it works fine for my purposes. It's got the wide, thin neck, which means it's fairly wide this way, but it's thin this way. 24 frets, hence the 24/8. 25-inch scale, as a la PRS, with a beautiful bird inlays. So 24/8, where does the 8 come in? Well, 8 for your tones. Now, just the regular standards that aren't the 24/8s have, I can't remember which one of these is a push-pull to split the coils. Splits them both, push it into. This doesn't have push-pull. This has these little knobs. Each pickup has its own coil split knob. I find you don't hear a lot of difference on a distorted sound when you split the coils. Maybe a little less loud. But if we go to a clean sound, give me a sec here. That's where I hear the difference. And if you go to the middle position, you can do combinations of which ones are split. So there's where you're getting your 8 sounds from, is right there. You'll notice I moved around in the room. I'm trying different things. I'm using something different for a monitor again because, you know, I come to the conclusion that little FR speaker I bought was meant to be portable, and I don't want it tied down anywhere. I have it all set up to like grab and go. Back to the guitar. The frets are beautiful, shiny, slippery, perfectly dressed. Not a darn thing wrong with them. Beautiful guitar. The neck, I read, is maple. In the body, mahogany. They do a really nice job matching it. The problem you get with any kind of a translucent finish when you mix woods like that is getting the finish to look consistent. But they have this dark enough that we have a good match. But if you really look, you can see the grain of the mahogany in here. I have no idea how many pieces it is because it's fairly thick. And they did a really, really good job finishing the maple neck and kind of almost a solid blue so that the grain doesn't come through, because maple likes to show, and that's why they do flame maple tops. It really likes to show through the finish. And that's the problem you can run into with doing this combination. And I used to have a Les Paul, and there was a period of time, I think 70s through early 80s, where they were making Les Pauls with the maple necks. I like the idea of the maple neck. But so that's that, and it's a plain top, but it's, like I said, translucent enough that you can see the grain through it. It's very pretty. PRS's proprietary pickups, they sound fine to me. I mean, I think they sound good. Cover the bridge. Get your little metal football jack plate. Pots and switch. Alpha pots. Switchcraft style switch. And it works well. Totally happy with it. Price. What did I pay for this? I want to say this was about $730, $720, $730, back when I bought it new in 22. And there are still some floating around out there just like this, and that's what the asking price ranges from $720 to $750 from what I've seen online. I don't know what they replaced it with. I should have looked that up and I didn't. But as I said, I don't have that guitar. I don't know if they changed any of the materials, any of the wood, what they did. I really don't know. I can just tell you about this one, but this is new enough. They're still out there, and you could still find one to buy it if you wanted it. So that's why I decided I would do the review. So that's it. Pretty guitar. It's a nice guitar. I don't play it as much as I should. No reason why. I couldn't offer you a reason why I don't. I tend to gravitate towards my cheap ones. I think, you know what it comes down to? I have so many guitars now. My very first good guitar, and at the time was my second guitar, was a Gibson Les Paul, 1980. 1982 Gibson Les Paul XR2. And it was before I even knew there was such a thing as strap locks, before I could afford anything. I'm a struggling college student at the time when I got this, okay? Bent down to adjust the knob on my MXR Distortion Plus. Man, I wish I still had that. One of the ones from the 70s. I bought it used back in 82. It was straight out of the 70s. No jack to plug in a power source. No little red light to tell you what was on. Be worth money now. Anyways, bent down to do that. Guitar fell off the strap. Top of my Gibson hit that and put a dent right in the... And it ruined me. So now I tend to gravitate towards banging on all of my cheap Axes. Well, the nice ones just hang up so I can look at them. And I mean, this isn't, you know, a $750 guitar is nothing nowadays, but still, I think that might be why I don't. I'm really trying to make a pledge to play my better guitars more. And you know, for the sake of the channel, I think that's why I'm going to start doing like reviews and looks just at what I got, so other people can maybe appreciate some of the cool guitars I have too. So that's the story for today. I hope you like this. If you get a chance to find one in a store and play one, please do. They are very nice. And you guys have a good day.